All right. Yo! Happy Friday, y'all. Smelly Randy here. Today is Friday, March 27th. Back out here in the garage. I figured it'd be a lot more, not a lot, a little more exciting than if every video was just down in the basement with the backdrop and whatever. So, today I'm going to highlight some of the new pieces of gear for 2020 that I either have bought and just haven't used yet, or gear that I bought like toward the end of last year, and I'm planning on using for all of 2020. So, yeah, let's jump into it. Let's go. All right. First off, has to do with sleep comfort. These are my new, I think they're Enlightened Equipment down booties. If you watched the, the Washington trip where we camped up in the Fire Lookout Tower on Park Butte, I know I talk about these. I basically wear these in my tent only when I'm sleeping. After a while I realized that the only reason that I was waking up in the middle of the night most nights in the backcountry was because my feet were getting cold. For $50, get these down booties that literally can basically fit in your hand. I think they weigh like 1 ounce or maybe 1.2 ounces or something like that. I've used these quite a few times already. And in fact, I won't go out without these unless it's planning on being like 70 degrees during the night. So that's number one. Number two, I just picked up some TwoWay radios. These are the Motorola Talkabouts. And these I actually had, let me show you. This is the old model. Most people would recognize these because they were kind of the standard for a long time. Problem with these, I have I think 3 or 4 of them, and they use these proprietary rechargeable batteries on the back. And for maybe half, like 2 or 3 of the ones that I own, these batteries died, and the only way you can fix them really is to just replace these proprietary batteries, and that's a pain in the butt. So I happen to have some Amazon credit, saw these for $20 for a 2-pack of them. Not only are they much smaller and lighter and thinner, but these take AAA batteries too. So that was a no-brainer for me. I always have AAAs with me because the headlamp takes them. You always got to have batteries. So, yeah, we're going to try these. These will be good for the through hike if we end up separating, anything like that. So that's good. The next thing is this. This is actually a cork, just a cork ball that weighs like 1 ounce. I figured I would take care of myself a little bit more on the trail. Last year had kind of a late start waiting for the snow to melt. I really didn't start hiking till like maybe late July, and the first few hikes I did were like 19, 20, 30 mile day hikes, 16-mile backpacking trips, and I killed my legs. Like, it was just too much too quickly, I think. And so I think I saw maybe like Darwin on YouTube talk about taking care of himself with these little cork massage balls, really work out the kinks after a long day of hiking, and I said, yeah, that seems like a pretty good idea. I'm going to try this out, backpacking, really work the quads and the calves after a long day hike, so I'm going to give that a shot. What else? All right, this is a big one. This is something I should have bought maybe like 3 years ago, and Carrie actually got it for me for my birthday this year. This is the Garmin InReach Mini. What this is basically it's an emergency satellite messenger. So when I'm out by myself or even in a group and I get bitten by a rattlesnake, which I'm sure will happen at some point, I can take this out, hit the SOS button. I can text them and say, bring anti-venom. And then I can send the coordinates and then someone will come out and pick me up. So, yeah, this is something that, with all the solo trips that I do, I really should have had something like this a long time ago, but I definitely was planning on buying something before the John Muir Trail this fall, so happy to finally have this. If you're not familiar, you kind of have two options for emergency SOS messengers like this, or beacons. The one option is a beacon where it's a small device and literally just has an SOS button. So you run into trouble, you need someone to come pick you up, you just hold that SOS button and then emergency services will come get you. Those don't have any way to communicate and text message back and forth. And the only reason I wanted that was basically like the same scenario that I just said, like if I get bitten by a rattlesnake, which is like one of my absolute biggest fears on the trail. I literally want to be able to tell them to bring any and all anti-venom that they have. Plus, it's just a good way for me to communicate with Carrie or whoever while I'm on the trail and just say, hey, I just got to the trailhead. I'm going to start hiking. Or, hey, I just got back to the trailhead. I'm going to start driving home now. Or even if you say I locked my keys in my car, it's not really like an emergency, but I want to be able to text Carrie and say hey, do you think you could drive, an hour and come help me get my keys out of my car or bring me a spare or whatever. So, just the ability to be able to do that was kind of one of the reasons why I went with something where I could actually message back and forth. Those are kind of your two options for emergency satellite messengers, is like a beacon where it just has a button, or something like this, or like the Spot X, I think they're called, where you can actually type out messages and send back and forth. So that's good. Happy to finally have that. Next up has to do with food storage. Here, let me take this off real quick. So what I've done in the past, where the heck is it? As far as food storage, is have a bear can like these. There's one. Actually, I'm not sure where my other bear can is. So anyway, yeah, I usually have a big bear can like that, or the clear ones. So that's what I've always used in the past. What I bought last year, toward the end of the year, I bought a couple actually. So first off, I bought the Z-Packs bear bag, and this is kind of, there we go. So it unravels, and it's just a bear bag, so I can, it comes with rope, so you can throw it up over a branch and hang your food. It's just a much lighter way to go. The only downfall of that is you're kind of at the mercy of having trees with good branches where you can actually hang your food around. But I feel like most places, you're going to know whether you're going to be around trees and whether you're going to be able to hang your food or not. So I did want a lighter option for that. So not only do I have this, which if a bear or something got to, it could totally rip right through that. And so that's why I also bought this bag. This is the Ursac Major. This is a bag. I don't think you're really meant to hang these. I think you're supposed to just tie these around like the base of a tree, and basically they're like made of like Kevlar, so critters aren't supposed to be able to bite through this or claw it up. So I'm gonna focus on hanging my food a lot more this year. During our through hike of the John Muir Trail, you actually are required to have a bear canister at least through, I think while you're hiking through Yosemite, you're required to have an actual bear canister. But for the rest of the hike, like you could drop your bear can off and then just use one of these the rest of the hike. So yeah, I'm gonna focus more on hanging my food this year. So I've used it a couple times, and it's a little tricky for sure. But yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. It's not so bad, and it's just way lighter to carry too. So anyway, and then there's one more big thing. New piece of gear. Let me open the garage. Nope, that's closing it. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen way too much of this, but here's my new piece of gear. Let's see if I can get to focus here. I got a new rig, y'all. I gotta get out here. Oh, now all my settings are messed up. Stand by. I thought it would just auto expose, but I guess not. Stand by. Okay, that's what I got. 2009 Nissan Xterra. And actually, before I show you around and what I've done to it, I'm actually going to end the recording and start a new one on auto real quick. Stand by. Alright, let's try this. So, auto exposure. Is it working? Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so here it is. I got a Nissan Xterra. I've been working the past few weeks making modifications to it. So, here it is. I got a new head unit with Apple CarPlay. That's really sweet, so I can just plug in right there. Let's go into the back. What I just finished. Damn. So, I just finished making this shelf here. This was like a hitch cargo rack that I basically just used the shelf part, or the cargo part, bolted legs on there. So yeah, now I have this cargo shelf in the back, and I can still sleep underneath it. And then that's not the side I wanted to go in. And then you can see seats folded down, and with these coolers I have a flat surface here, that when this ladder's not here, I basically have 7 plus feet that goes all the way to the back that I can sleep. And I did just mention the ladder, so let's pull this out and I'll show you what else I did. That's not working. Still getting the hang of all this. Alright. Jeez. Stand by. Bear with me here. I forget I did all this stuff already. Oh, and while we're at it, you can see the cargo net I added. So like sleeping pads, sleeping bags, chairs, anything I can just throw up here, and it stays pretty sturdy. Doesn't obstruct my rear view. Alright, now we'll grab the ladder. So. Alright, so what else I did? As an engagement gift, Carrie actually got me this right here, which is a retractable awning. You just unzip it, pull the awning out, and that thing is really cool. And then I'm going to show you how this ladder works. Just undo that. With one hand I can, and there we go, 8.5 feet of ladder. And then I can rest that right on the awning here so as not to damage the car. Oh, and then hold on, let me grab something. And then I've got like a foam sit pad here. So if I want, I can take this up the ladder. And then the other thing, the first thing I actually did when I got this was I actually bought another cargo carrier and then made it into this roof rack here. And you see I got some rings here so I can use for straps and bungee cords. But really I wanted a platform that could handle me standing on it in case I wanted to come up here and do photography. So, or just sit up here for like a sunset. So yeah, I got the sit pad here. I can just sit that down. Whoa. And there we go. So yeah, this is my the biggest piece of new gear I got for this year. So yeah, pretty good. Looking forward. Obviously we're in lockdown now, but hopefully we can get out camping. We did just take it out a couple weekends ago. Weekend before last, we actually took it out and slept in the back of the truck, which yeah, was plenty comfy. I do still want to get like a, what's it called? It's like a foam mattress topper, and then cut it out to the shape of the back of the truck, just so it's like a lot more comfortable back there. So yeah, that's pretty much like the last big modification I want to make, and then this thing will be adventure ready. But yeah, the awning here is really sweet. I've always wanted one of those, and it'll be nice to be able to pull the ladder out and get up top here if we just want to like sit up here and watch a sunset or take some pictures. So yeah, pretty good. That's anyway, that's all I got. Oh, we started Tiger King last night, or the night before that. That's looking pretty wild. We're only an episode in, so yeah, I actually thought it was gonna be a little bit crazier based on all the hype on Twitter, but it, like, episode 1 was like a pretty good introduction to all the crazy people. So yeah, I expected to get a lot crazier. And then we did watch Tom Segura's new stand-up special, Ball Hog. That is hysterical. So absolutely watch that if you haven't. You'll love that. That's really good. Aside from that, that's really all I got. I think my lunch is over now, and yeah, I only got about 3.5 hours till happy hour, and then the weekend. By the way, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing daily videos over the weekend. I might try and focus more on working on my actual trip videos. I don't know. We'll see. So if I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye.